It is a moment you've all been waiting for. Da 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 da. Enough with this bit. The Vaccinator. OP or not to P, I mean B. Let's start back with the history of this medigun so we can get a general idea of how it functioned back then. Back in 2012, the Vaccinator was released along with the Rescue Ranger and the Coconut Gun during the Mecha update. This update was released to bring the final class they wanted to add to the Man vs. Machine mode, the Roboneer.
Oh fuck, the Roboneer.
From what it seems, they added these items to help people combat the newest class that they added to the Man vs. Machine mode. For how the general servers were affected, I couldn't give you an accurate guess because I wasn't playing back then. Please don't hurt me, no! But I think it would cause a lot of new playstyles and help older ones like the more aggressive medic or even the turtle engineer thanks to the Rescue Ranger. Nothing of note happened to the Vaccinator until July 10th, 2013. About 7 months later, where they added the ability to negate crits, and uber depletion is based on the damage prevented. This allowed the Vaccinator to become one of the biggest counters to any crits, whether random or not. During the upcoming years, they did some basic patches like adding collectors and strange variations of the Vaccinator. One of the biggest updates for it, though, happened on July 2nd of 2015, during the Gunmetal update. This update was huge for the Vaccinator, because it changed a lot of the stats for this pub-stomping machine. Because the list is pretty long, I'll post a picture of the changes and do some basic summarization, so you guys don't have to sit here for 10 years. This gives the Vaccinator the bubble of 75% resistance to damage type, the full crit resistance only applying to the bubble, getting a 10% healing boost for choosing the right resistance, and the slower 66% charge of Uber when a patient is overhealed. Overall, not bad for the Vaccinator, I must say. After this update, the only update that caused some change to the minigun was the Tough Break update, where they increased the Uber rate and removed the extra 10% healing, and reduced the slower Uber rate when healing an overhealed patient. Woo! You guys catch all that? Cause I know I didn't. Let's get into the discussion of whether or not the Vaccinator is overpowered compared to its counterparts. So let's start off with the 75% damage that each bubble prevents. That's quite a bit of damage to block, but how much is it really? Let's go through some examples, shall we? Rockets with a maximum damage ramp up can do about 112 damage. And for 2.5 seconds, you will take 28 damage from a rocket? What? Okay. That seems a bit wild, but let's go all the way. Let's go a fully charged headshot from a sniper. The max damage from that is 450 damage. You put in the 75%, and it leads to 130 damage? What the shit? If you put that in perspective, the only class that won't survive that shot is a kunai spy. And if you are healing a kunai spy, why? As you can see, the bubble is pretty strong. But you know what it's also strong in? Group situations. In certain scenarios. You may ask, how's it good in a group situation? Well, you can attach a bubble to a person and then switch to another person and bubble them as well. So you can possibly have 4 people bubbled at a time. The bubble excels though in 2v2 situations. And a couple of my friends and I decided that we would compare the Vaccinator between the other 3 mediguns in a 2v2 fight to see which medigun could beat out the other. If you don't care how I did the experiment and you want to see the results, here's a timestamp for that. But as for now, I will go over to how we did the tests. It's quite simple. One medic would have the Vaccinator, the other medic would have the other kind of medigun that we would be testing. We would be healing the heavies, fully healed with overheal, so 450, and they would stand at a medium distance while they would push each other. And what I mean by that is they would walk into each other. We did 3 tries for each of them, but I am only going to show you the result of the first or the last one, whatever test came out better. But now if we go over the results, in the fight against the medigun would win. It's kind of obvious why, thanks to the invincibility the stock medigun gives you for 8 seconds. It could definitely kill a vaccinated heavy before it runs out. Next up is the Kritzkrieg, and sadly the Kritzkrieg gets completely outclassed because of the bubble's ability to negate all crits, making it an easy counter if you really hate the medic on the enemy team using the Kritzkrieg. For the quick fix, the bubble plus healing is able to do more than the quick fix's Uber in this kind of situation. This leads the damage to be too much for the quick fix to out heal. Overall, the Vaccinator beats out 2 of the 3 other mediguns in a simple 2v2 situation. Now in a bigger situation, the other mediguns stand a bigger chance, but in a 2v2, the Vaccinator is second best to the medigun. Now, why the hell did I sit here and talk about the Vaccinator for about 5 minutes? The reason I talked about it for almost 5 minutes now is to show you the potential of the Vaccinator. As frustrating as it is to fight, it still has many weaknesses like anything having to do with melee, making Demo Knight one of the biggest counters to this strong as hell medigun. A smart player can completely negate the strengths of this medigun with aggressiveness, spy/Demo Knight planning, or even team pushing, even though I know how hard that can be in regular lobbies. In my own personal opinion, if no one is expecting it, this medigun can completely sweep a lobby. Now you may ask, why I never went over the Vaccinator versus Vaccinator matchup? And the simple answer is, whoever the better player is, usually wins in that kind of fight. It is like testing a medigun versus medigun battle. The winners are usually the better players who are able to move and shoot better, or are able to Uber quicker. Overall, I think this medigun is very strong and not really overpowered, just really good. The ability to counter the Kritzkrieg is one of the shining points of this medigun, because if someone in the right hands has a Kritzkrieg, they can sweep a lobby, but with the Vaccinator, you can counter them a lot easier without having to build up stock Uber. This medigun isn't invincible though, because they can be countered hard by spies, Demo Knights, and coordinated pushes, and if he can focus a med before he can even pop the bubble, then he's as good as dead, honestly. Since that's my opinion, and I have laid you some of my points about the Vaccinator, what do you think about the Vaccinator? Do you think this medigun is overpowered or even underpowered? Let me know in the comments below, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. See you when I upload in another year.